Well, welcome back my fantastic friends to Painting with MasterTemple, and if this is your first time watching us on this channel, thank you very much for joining me. And if you're a seasoned watcher of the videos, oh, happy days, thank you very much. Right, let's get on and paint a nice little picture. Now, a few weeks ago I saw an image, somebody sent me an image, and it was the Balmoral Castle in Scotland in the snowstorm, and I thought, we've got to recreate that on canvas. So let's have a look at what we've got done up here on this Winsor & Newton's canvas panel. Okay, so I've taken the canvas panel, which is already primed, and I've painted a border on there and masked it all off. Okay, and the inside I painted black with black primer, allowed that to dry completely. Then I stuck on a couple of shapes out of masking tape of the castle itself and a couple of houses in the foreground. And once that was on there, I coated the whole thing in a very, very thin layer of liquid white. Okay, so it almost looks grey. It almost looks grey. Now, it's very cold today, it really is. Okay, you can see the steam off my breath, it's that cold. So we'll try and make this a quick painting, but if it happens to be over half an hour, it happens to be over half an hour. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take some white paint, some titanium white paint on a 1-inch paintbrush. Okay, now the liquid white is still wet, don't let that dry. Okay, and canvas panels can absorb that, so absorb the oil, so you've got to be a little bit quick on that. Okay, so I'm just adding some titanium white paint to this. Okay, just a little bit up at the top. We've got a snowstorm, and I think we'll paint obviously some big heavy snow clouds. Now we'll just go across there, just like that, across the masking tape. Now that masking tape does help us with the design of the castle. Okay, now you can paint the castle if you so wish, but I just find it a little bit easier if we've got a little bit of masking tape. It gives us a nice idea of where we need to be. Okay, so just some titanium white all across the top there, just like that. Okay, and again, just like we would do in a normal sky with blues, we will blend all this out eventually. Okay, so just there. We'll have a lot of snow down here, I think, as well, so we'll just wipe off any excess titanium white just there, like so. Okay, now get rid of that brush. I'm going to go into a fan brush if I find a decent one. There we go, this one looks pretty decent. Okay, I'm going to take a tiniest amount of lamp black. Now these are Winsor & Newton's oil paints, but if you've got Bob Ross paints or any other kind of paint, you go for it. Okay, this is just lamp black. Okay, they're very firm, they don't drip off your palette. That's what we want in this technique. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of grey up here, not much, we just want the snow clouds to appear. Okay, but we need a little bit of dark to show the light. Okay, so just a little tiny touch of grey, and just feather them off wherever you need them to be. Maybe get a little bit darker here and there. And there, we're going to have a nice tree, I think, at this side. If memory serves me right, there were some nice big trees. Okay, and a nice little path. And we know it's not going to be an exact copy of that image. I'll try and put the image up. I think it was a little video on YouTube. Videos on YouTube, yeah. Okay, so there we go. Just like so. Little oddities in the sky. And I'm going to wipe off the excess and grab a bit more white. And then here and there, and there and here, maybe change the brush. Change the brush, get rid of that old bristle there. And just put in a little bit of white here and there and here. I hope you can see that. I hope you can see that. Just here and there. And I'm swirling the brush, okay? So I'm going that way, like little circular strokes. I'm not too concerned about this part here, because like I say, we're gonna have a tree or something like that. But there we go. Just all the way down to the horizon line. And the horizon line will be just below, about here. I've put some markings on the masking tape as well, which will give me an idea where things should plot in the composition. All being well. Okay, now let's grab a big firm dry brush. Okay, got to be dry as well, and I'm just gonna maneuver, move, blend, tease all this paint together. So we've got the greys and the whites all in there. Be careful not to peel off your castle, not just yet anyway. Okay, just like that. Okay, you can even bring it towards you, and that'll give a nice indication of some movement in the sky. Of course, with snowstorms, you will have a lot of movement in the sky, a blizzard. Okay, just there, like that. Now, the lights are shining quite bright on this, so I can't really tell what it is, and I'm painting almost sideways on as well, but you should be able to see. Okay, I'm going to go back to the original white brush, okay, and I'm just going to add a bit more white down here. Okay, I just want that a little bit brighter just there. Okay, but that looks about what we're after. Take out the brush strokes. Happy days. Okay, happy days. Okay, I'm going to take this little blendery brush. Now this is again from the range, and I think it's only a couple of quid. It's like a makeup brush, and it really is soft. I think it's pony hair. I keep getting it mixed up with goat hair or pony hair, but it is what it is. Okay, pony hair, goat hair. And I'm just going to add some little fluffy things just at the base of the castle, because we're going to blend that castle into the mist eventually. Okay, and then tease that out. Okay, there we go. Okay, same brush, just tap it into that greys and stuff, and we can add a little bit of an indication of some trees or something like that. Maybe that's a bit too big, but that's what we're after. There's some trees in the background, so we'll add that there as well. Okay, maybe a bit of another one. Something to show the light, yeah? Just there. And if you just tap, the more tapping, the more it'll go away and leave you. Maybe on this side as well, just there, like so. Set that brush down, okay? And now I'm going to move this masking tape. You can see under there we've got like a dark where the acrylic primer was. Okay, so I'm going to grab, if I can find it, okay, I'm going to grab some of this grey paint. So I'm going to take some white again. I'm going to even thin it down a little touch with some liquid white. Okay, now I want this to be almost the same colour as the sky, just a little variance, okay, in the castle. Okay, so we'll just come down there and we can start plotting out the highlights and shadows of this castle. Now the black's on there, so we can utilise that for our shadow. Just drop that in there. Don't have to make it uniform and all pretty. Okay, this is in the mist, it's far away as well, and it's a misty day where I am. You can see the steam coming off my breath. Okay, so we'll put a little bit of a cap on there as well, and all it is just colouring it in with our brush. And this is just greys, a little bit of liquid white as well, just to help it move across that dry part of the canvas. Okay, just down there, like so. I'm just going to fill all this in, just like that. Leave some dark parts and some light parts. Just pull straight down. Got a bit of white in there. Change the flavour. See, it's nearly Christmas time. I absolutely love this time of year, though. It is cold. It is agonisingly cold. But I hope it's all right where you are, wherever you're watching from. Let me know where you're watching from. Maybe someone's in Scotland watching, yeah? Maybe they live near Balmoral. Maybe the owner of Balmoral is watching. The king. Okay, we'll just push that in there like that. And if you are watching, Your Majesty, Merry Christmas. Can you remember the time we met? I once did meet the king in the mid-80s. I was a little boy, and he was Prince Charles at the time, and he came to my town, and I gave him a white rose from my grandmother's garden. Oh, memorable time. Okay, so we've got a little bit of colour in there. I'm going to add some more different colours now to, well, same sort of colours, whites and blacks. We just want to get the highlights on the go. Maybe that comes down there. So this is just a little bit of white. Don't care too much about down here because we're going to mist all this up. Okay, and then we can draw it across that way. I'm going to put a flag post, I think, on top of this. I think that's what we're going to do. There, just steam that up a bit. A little bit more highlight here and there. So you don't have to go crazy about it, but and if you do it light enough, you can pick up the grain of the canvas. That looks like little individual bricks and mortar and things like that. Okay, so script liner brush, rigger brush. Okay, I'm just gonna put some white just up there, like that. Okay, and then follow that around, bring it down. Maybe there's a touch on there, like so. With the snow building up on the turrets there and the bits and pieces. Okay, grab a bit more of that white. So it looks like we've got the highlight coming from this side there. Okay, let's work on some shadow in that. Okay, so a little bit of paint thinner and a little bit of that dark grey, maybe even more darker. And we'll come down here, there, like that. Maybe there, like so. Lapse of concentration. Keep concentrating, Dan. Keep concentrating. Okay, like so. There. Here and there and there and here. There, we've got it. Okay, I'm just going to blend that little line around like so. Wow. There we go. Okay. Let's take a palette knife, if I can find it. Use this one. Use the big one. Okay. Same colours, the greys. Okay, I'm just going to use the little edge of the knife. I'm just going to put a little bit of a flag post on that. And you can even neaten some of this, all this lot up. Even neaten that bit up there like so. I hope that looks all right. There we go. Okay, back into a little bit more of the dark colour. Put a few windows on here. How's it looking so far, folks? There we go. Right, so we've got the main part of the tower. Okay, we'll take this brush. Okay, I'm just going to tap in to the base of this. Just some of that white. Just tap at the base. Really hitting the canvas quite hard. And now that castle has merged into the mist and the steam and the fog. Okay, just gently lift that up with a clean, dry brush. There we go. Okay, back to the brush that's got a little tiny bit of colour on. A bit of black, a bit of grey. Don't want too much of the dark colour. And then we can put some more of the little doofery-doos that look like trees just out of this delicate little brush. And that's a bit darker, that one. It must be in shadow, yeah? There, like so. Okay, so now we've got that on the go. Come on, we'll put another one there. Like that. Like so, there we go. Okay. Now, what we can do is remove the houses. So, a bit of masking tape. Let's take the knife. Get the little knife. Found the little knife. Same thing will apply for these, okay? Just like the castle. Get house number 1 out the way, house number 2. There we go. I think there was a lot more houses on the original photograph or video, but just for today, we'll just have 1 or 2. Okay, I'm going to take this again. Let's take that little knife. Sorry, that little brush. Sneaks in places. I'm going to get a little tiny bit of crimson, and I'm going to get a bit of brown as well. Crimson and brown, not much. I want this to remain quite dark. Okay, crimson, brown, and maybe a touch of white in that as well. A bit more brown. Okay, and then I'm just going to scrub in, okay, a little bit of colour. Just there. Okay, and that is the brickwork. And maybe there's some on this side. Now you see my thumb, sorry, my finger is touching the palette, the canvas. I'll get them right eventually, won't I? It's just touching the canvas. Don't worry about that, we can blend this out, okay? But don't put your fingers in your mouth afterwards. A bit of colour on this side, just there like so. Maybe we'll lighten this colour up a little tiny touch because it's in a different angle. Okay, so we'll go up there like this. We'll have some snow on the roof as well. We'll just pull down like that. Again, fill in the lines. Happy days, happy days. Maybe a little bit there. Again, we don't have to act too perfect on this, okay? It's in the steam, it's in the mist, it's in the fog, okay? Right, let's put some little lights on. I like little lights in little houses, so what I'm going to do is grab a little tiny touch of the white paint and the yellow paint. Okay, so I've got the tiniest amount of cad yellow. Mix it with a tiny little amount, got to be little, okay, of liquid white. And we'll put a little light on just there, just so you can hardly see it, but the lights are on. And maybe there's 1 or 2 on this side as well. There. Like that. Okay, let's change the flavour again. Put the door on that house. Okay, so a little bit of paint thinner, and we'll go into it. It's just straight lamp black this time. Okay, and let's put a little door in just there. Maybe 1 on there as well. Okay, there we go. Look at all the finger marks. I've got a lot. I'm gonna have to clean my fingers. Okay, so there we've got the beginnings of 2 little cottages, little houses. Okay, we want some snow on the roof of that. Okay, so go to your palette knife. Okay, will this little palette knife sneak in there and then just put in a nice little amount of snow, just like that. There. Okay, and just neaten this off. There, like so. Maybe the little side of the little knife might sneak in there a little bit better. Okay, and across there, just like that. Fill this in, just fill in the snowy parts in. And of course that's nice and thick, that snow, so it'll feel like there's a lot of snow on there when it dries. Right, same on that side, nice bit of snow there. And same on this one again, just use the little side of the little knife. Okay, and just push in some snow. Now you can do this with a brush if you want, if you've not got a steady hand. I've not got a steady hand, but I thought I'd give it a go. There. Little 1-story little house. Then same on this side, just there, like that. Again, we'll neaten this up as well, just there. Wow, that looks thick snow. Like so. Okay, now we've got as little houses. Let me just neaten sneak in there and neaten that up. There, like that. We need some. I think they're going to be having some cooking in there. I think, you know, it's Christmas time. It's cold. They definitely have the heating on or the gas stove going. So let's put a little tiny touch of smoke. Yeah, smoke. Smoke comes from cookers. Yeah. So black. I get there in the end, folks. I get there in the end. Black and white. Little grounded brush. Nothing too strenuous. And then all I'm going to do is just tap on this and just take it up just like that. And then maybe it just goes off into nothing like that. Bit of the white, a bit more of the white, just to highlight some of this as it goes over that tree. And there we go. Right, back to the dry blender, and we're just going to tap. Just tap, 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 tap. Okay, and there we've got it. There we've got a little bit of smoke coming from this chimney. Okay, maybe a little bit more lighter, just down there. Blend it together. Yeah, but it's cooking something good, yeah. Okay, now down here we've got a path, right? So we're not too concerned about all this lot just yet, but we're going to have a little path that's going to sneak out about here. I think there was a path about there. All right, so we'll pull that down like so. Maybe goes off that way. I don't know yet. That's just a little bit of a layout of where this path will be. Okay, let's change this brush. What's it got on it? I think it's just got whites. Okay, so we'll just take a little bit of this white colour and just put a few little touches just here and there and here. Just a few little white spots like that. Now that colour, that crimson in that colour there, will actually draw your eye to the centre of the painting, because it's a nice reddy colour, and the rest of the colours are pretty cool. Okay, pretty dark. Okay, let's get the fan brush with the white paint on. Okay, maybe dip into some liquid white as well. Have a bit more. That make it kind of thin. Okay, and then we're just gonna smoosh in some snow just down there. Let it graze there. And you can push that little house back just like that into the path. Let's make his path a little bit wider as we come towards us. It's in the snow, so it's there like that. Okay, then we're just going to go across all that, just take out the brush strokes there. A bit more white. Like so. How's it looking? How's it getting? I can't see it, you see. You can, I can't. It's not fair. Okay. Boy, it's cold. Boy, it's cold. Okay, maybe a little touch up there. Just up there like so. Path goes out that way. Comes in this way. Alright. Now we're cooking with gas like this guy is. Okay. Now we want some little fence posts, I think. So we'll go back to the palette knife and we'll take a little tiny bit of that black. Okay, maybe grey it off a touch. Okay, but we'll use the little side of the knife and we'll put some little fence posts. Don't worry that they're a bit too big. Okay. We want to get them a little bit thicker towards us and a little bit taller. Just like that. I don't recall how many there was in the original, but we'll just stick with his artistic license, yeah? Maybe one in front of the house, just there. Maybe one there as well. Okay, now then, let's join those together. So with the heel of the knife, all I'm going to do is just push on a little bit like that. Okay, and then let's put another rail in. Okay, stop the old gulp from going underneath. Okay, so we'll start off here and we'll put another rail just there, just with the heel of the knife, and I'm scraping through the paint like so. Okay, there we go. In fact, I can even use the knife just to put in a few little tree trunks here and there and here. So wish, yeah. Okay, let's clean off the palette knife. Right, back to the white on the palette. Now, let's just grab a clean one. I seem to have hit that with another. Seem to have hit the other fan brush with another brush. Okay, so pick up this one, bit of white paint, and just come underneath these posts. Now, grab a little bit of that colour, that little dark colour, pull it into the snow, and that will act like shadows. Okay, that will act like shadows in the snow. There we go. Maybe we've got a bank coming that way as well. Okay, so now let's put some snow on here then. So said we'll have some of this there. Easiest thing in the world is painting snow. Not when it's cold. Not when it's cold, folks. Should have a woolly hat on, shouldn't I? I usually have a hat on, but not today. I can't find it. I'm always losing it. I was in York a couple of days ago, and I had my hat on then. I was getting some strange looks because sometimes I wear it and it looks a little bit too big. Right, so we put a little bit of snow on here, just like this. Now, I think we could have a nice little, a nice little lamp. What do you think? What do you think? Let's go back to the palette knife. Maybe this, yeah, maybe it goes that way. Now, we're using artistic license here, okay? I'm just putting in an indication of where this path will go. So maybe it goes off there, comes round there. Maybe if we take no, don't want to go over the houses, Dan. I was going to, but we don't want to go over the houses. But let's take this. In fact, I'm going to put a tiny touch of brown, not much. Don't want brown snow. Okay. So I'm going to put a little bit there. We'll put a little bit there. More pressure. Bend the knife, and then another one just there, like that. Make it a little bit thicker, this one, so twice, do it twice. Okay, it's a little bit closer towards us. Okay, and again, we'll join those together. So instead of the heel this time, I'm using the point of the knife, and just come straight across. And then same again on this one. So pull out, grab a bit more. There, and then straight down there like that. Okay, and then if I just take the same of that colour and just pull it like this, when we come to blend it out, it'll look like shadows in the snow, yeah? It'll look like nice little shadows in the snow. There, like so. And we're going to have this path that comes round here. So we'll need something on this side then, won't we? But I don't know yet. Getting too far in front, Dan. You're getting too far in front, okay? So grab some of this. What colour's on this? Just white. Okay, so that'll do. That'll do. I'm just going to tease this out just like that. So it's not an exact replica of Balmoral Castle, but you're getting the idea of how it's created, I suppose. Okay, so what's that? Where have I put the all these fan brushes? Right, this one, isn't it? Okay, so white, just pure white. Okay, we're gonna have another snow bank, so just grab some of this, go straight over that colour. Okay, there, like that. Put some snow in there. Let it build up around the base of the posts. Like that. I'm going to add some blue into this in a moment. I don't know where we're going to put it. Okay, maybe grab the tiniest touch. Tiny touch. A little goes a long way with Phthalo Blue. Okay. I'm just going to put a little bit in there. Just a tiny touch. Again, this blue will trigger off your eye being drawn towards the centre. Okay, just like that, maybe a tiny bit up there. Don't know yet, don't know. Okay, just blend all this lot out. Blend it out. There. Right then, what we get, how far we got. Okay, so let's put a thing. I think if we grab, just seeing something. Okay, so I'm going to grab the palette knife. Make sure it's clean, okay? I usually don't. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit of blue just under there like that. Okay, and then just lift that into the snow. So that's the shadow from that snow bank there. We want some snow on this side. I think we're going to have a tree here. I think we're going to have a big tree. We need a big tree, don't we, to push this in. But what shall we have here? Okay. Come on, Dan. Think. So if we're going to have a tree on this side, we don't really want another tree on this side, do we now? Right. Let me consult with the knife. What should we do? Yeah. I think so as well. Okay, so it worked quite well. It worked quite well on a previous painting. And a fair few of you have replicated that, so I think we'll do that again. So we'll put a lamp. That's a good idea, yeah? That's a good idea. Okay, so let me wash a little brush. Come on, where is it? Just wash it in odorless thinner, wipe off on any excess. Okay, and again, I'm going to go into some white. So grab some white and some yellow, white and yellow. Okay, and we'll have the lamp, I think, about there. Okay, it might not be fully on because it might be daytime, but we'll just give an indication that there is one there. Okay, right over that tree, but we know that tree's there. We know that tree is there. Okay, blend this out. So all I'm going to do is just tease that side to side, just like that. There we go. Okay, now then, with some of this black paint, we can start to create our little lamp. So just with the point of the knife or the heel of the knife, your preference, we're just going to create that little light. I don't know what to call it. Like the lamp bulb sits in. I don't know. We'll put that there, like so. But it very, very Christmassy is these sort of paintings that have these lamps in, these old Victorian lamps. Okay, now where we're going to go with this? So we put post there. It's a bit crickety. People are going to get cross with me, aren't they? But then again, this post might be this lamppost might be a couple of 100 years old and might deserve to be a little bit crickety. Is crickety a word? I don't know. But still. Right, so we'll just pull this down, just using some pressure on the palette knife. Okay, if you pick up a little bit of white and it mixes with your black, you've got a little bit of a highlight colour, yeah? Okay, and then let's just use the point of the knife back under there. And the lamp lighters like to have something to put the ladders against, so just like so, just a little roll, just like that. Okay, maybe you can just see a faint indication just through the lamp, just there like that. Okay, now some of this will have snow on the top, I'm sure of it, but we can fill some of this in, can't we? So again, just like we did with the castle, we can put a little something on here. Just fill that in, just with a palette knife. Take your time, don't rush it. Take your time. Maybe there's a little point that just sticks right out there, just like that. Okay, so there we go. We've got a nice little lamp. Okay, let's put a little bit of blue. Again, I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of blue on this side of this lamp. There, like that. Wow, that looks old. That looks old. Okay, and then we're going to shadow this into the snow, so we'll add that way. It creates like a divot in the path, yeah? Okay, back to the white paint. Back to the white paint. And we're going to come across there like so, just like this. Okay, there. Bring that down. Bring this down. Okay, really a lot of firm pressure. Okay, a lot of paint. Okay, what I'm going to do is grab a fan brush. We're making it up as we go along. A little bit more blue and white. Okay. And we're going to put some little grassy things that are just living there. Like that. Just at the base of this lamp. There we go. Maybe there's one or two living at the base of these. There'd be all sorts of weeds, wouldn't there? Living down there like that. There in the snow. Right, what we want is a tree on this side, but I don't... Where can we put a tree on this side? We're going to have to go into the border. What do you think? And do we need some snow on these? I think we do. I'm getting paint all over my hands. It's too chaotic, isn't it? It's too chaotic. Right, so before we carry on, just a little tiny touch of white paint just on the top of these. Just put a little snow cap on. Little snow cap, somewhere where the old robin can sit. Okay. Right. Big tree time. And we're going to have a tree here. And I'm going to paint it with a palette knife. Right, so what we're going to do is pull off the masking tape. So I'm going to set this down, warm my hands up, and we're going to pull off the masking tape. Are you ready? Okay, right, so I'm just going to grab this masking tape and I'm just going to pull off, and it'll expose the border. Moment of truth, as Bob Ross would say. Okay, there we go. Right, get rid of that without being too crazy. Right, now we've got a nice little border, okay? And we have got a nice little castle. So we want a tree. Now, I'm going to make up a massive amount of colour here. So I'm going to take black and blue and maybe even a touch of brown in there, maybe a touch of crimson. Okay, I don't know if I've made enough yet. Excuse me, what, it is cold. Okay, and I want the tree to live here. Okay, now I've done these before where I have the tree entwined around the border, but I think we'll have this tree out of the border. Now where we come down, out here, I'm going to use some browns, okay? So we're going to see some of this tree trunk about there. And again, this makes really good, thick bark for your trees. So just fill that in, okay, down there. Just fill this in. Now this is just black and brown, or brown and black. I'm going to grab a little tiny touch of what we, a bit of yellow ochre, I think it is. I'm just going to highlight this side. Okay, just a touch of yellow ochre. Okay, maybe even grab a little bit of white into that yellow ochre, black and brown mix. Make a little bit of a grey colour. Just add that there as well. Don't care too much what's going on down here just yet. Okay, that here and there and there and here, we're going to put a little touch of this brown up here. You might see through, but then again you might not. Okay, now if you don't want this tree in there, you don't have to put your tree in. Okay, you could just leave it as it is. All right, but I want this big tree. So let's take some of this colour, black and blue. Okay, black and blue or blue and black. Lots of it. Lots of it. Okay, I'm just going to paint a tree with a palette knife. Clean off the old palette knife. Clean off the old palette knife, and then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to touch and I'm just going to feather this out. Feather very gently. Now if you've seen any of my shorts videos when I've done this, it's quite effective because you get a full rounded shape of the tree. I mean, it takes a while to do. It takes up a lot of paint as well, but it's quite effective, I think. So I'm just going to populate all this just down there. I'm thinking of individual branches as well. Same on this side. Now I will naturally have a different angle to what I've just put up there on the opposite side, just because the way our hands are, you know. But don't worry about it. Trees have a left and right hand side as well. So just fill this in. Maybe even use the knife the opposite side around. Now, if this is not your cup of tea, you could actually use a fan brush. Okay, I just want to show you just how to get the most out of your equipment. Okay, and as we come down here into some thicker parts, may even change to the bigger knife. Get it done a little bit quicker, but we're not in that much of a rush, are we? We're not in that much of a rush. If it takes an hour, it takes an hour. You know, you don't have to do your paintings in half an hour in one sitting, you know. That's only ever good for people on TV, you know, like Bob. Okay, if you do your paintings in half an hour, which fit the commercial slots. But here on YouTube, we've got unlimited time. Unlimited time together. We're going out of paint, make some more up. Blue and black, touch of brown. Don't want no green in this. There's only one thing worse than brown and yellow snow, and that's green snow. Okay, so not add any green. Okay, so we could make green if we wanted to. We've got yellow, we've got blue. So just work on these little, we're going to come back and put some snow on this as well. It's really thick paint. And you could use this if you're running out, if you've got a load of paint, got a lot of paint still left on your palette and you want to know what to paint with it, just paint a big tree like this with a palette knife. Bit more blue. Let's cool it off a little bit. Bit more blue. Yeah, like so. Just really push it in. Go over that fence. There, like so. See, I don't really want to edit any videos to the point where I'm speeding processes up. I like to go a little bit steady and a little bit slow so we can all get the full effect. But there we go. And think about how these branches lay. Now they're going to be a bit bigger down at the base. Wow, that is one big tree. We weren't kidding, were we? It's probably about 20-inch long. And down here at the bottom. And again, the branches don't just go out to the side, they come towards you as well. So bring them towards you, especially down at the base where you're going to see the outline. Look at that. All my black has gone. And then, wow, this will take some drying, I tell you. We might be dry for next Christmas yet, but that's all right. That's all right. Be worth it, yeah? It'll be worth it. There we go. So we have got our nice little big tree. All right, so clean off the palette knife. Needs to be clean. Okay, and then we're going to add some shadow colours first. Okay, so let's take some white. So let's get a spot to clean. To play with. Okay, so don't want none of that dark colour in there. Okay, so white paint and a little bit, in fact we'll use cerulean blue. Okay, cerulean blue, maybe a bit of phthalo blue in that as well. Okay, and leave the paint marbled. Don't overmix. Don't overmix. Grab your palette knife full of this paint. And we have the shadow on this side, right, on the left hand side. So we're going to hit this very light, just like snow on a mountain. The only thing that's going to touch this tree is the paint. Okay, we're just going to touch and gently let the tree have what it wants. Again, individual branches. Individual branches. Okay. Maybe some, might see a little bit of shadow on this side. We're going to put some snow on this side, some big thick snow, right? There, down like so, just like you're painting a mountain. Okay, and then again, just leave some a little bit darker than others. Leave some a little bit darker, really build the paint up. Comes down there like so. Okay. If you get a bit too much dark paint on your palette knife, give your palette knife a bit of a clean. There's nothing wrong with that. Good quality paper towel or a rag. Down like so. Again, the firmer the paint, the better this is. Okay. If you've got really thin paint, that'll all just slide straight off, and you don't want that. You don't want that. Just like we're painting the snow on a big old Bob Ross kind of mountain. That's what we're doing here, okay? Instead of a mountain, we've got a tree. Does take up a lot of paint, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Down there, like so. Running out of paint. Straight across there, a bit down there. So we've got dark colour, a medium colour, and now we're going to put a little bit of a highlight colour on that as well. So wipe off the knife. Okay, pull out the paint really firm and flat, and we're gonna go into some pure titanium white. Okay, and only on one side. Okay, unless we see a point that needs to be highlighted, but start at the top and just touch on again, only the paint touches the canvas. Okay, just start building up some of this snow. Building up some of this snow. Just there, come across. There. Like that. Okay, if it's not flowing, okay, just grab a little bit of liquid white, only a touch though. I want it to remain really thick because we don't really want this paint to dribble off. Okay. Like so, just a little bit of white. You can see how much paint I'm putting on. This is a lot of paint. Okay, a lot of paint. Like so. Maybe there is some on this side. Maybe we'll have a little bit on there. Just here and there and here. A little tiny touch. And that break in the paint, it'll look amazing. It will look amazing. And again down there. However you want to do it. However you want to do it. Destroy me white paint here. But it's alright. That's alright. Just work on this. Work on it. How's this looking? Is it looking a mess? Or is it looking alright? Let me know. Come on, let me know. White paint on this side. We'll have a little bit of snow on there, aren't we? Every now and again. Every now and again. A little tiny bit of snow. On there. Work. There we go. So, just going to clean that off. Get rid of that. Okay, so let's go back to some white paint. Have we got any clean white paint left? Okay, and I'm just going to grab some of this. This is white paint. And just grab the base of that. Okay. Maybe it comes all the way across there and blends into the painting. I'll grab a little bit of this blue underneath it just to act as a shadow. Then just tease this out, blend it in. There we go. So we have broke the border. We have broke the border with this. Okay, there we go. I think we're about almost finished. Okay, so how did we get on? How did you think we did? Are you going to have a go at this one? I hope you do. If you really enjoy this kind of painting, please subscribe to the channel. Give a big thumbs up as well, and leave me a comment. Let me know how you think we've done. If you do this and put it on Facebook, tag me in it. You know, I'd love to see what you're doing. There's some of the links into my social medias down in the description as well. If you want to get hold of me and have a little bit of a chin wag over the old email system, whatever it is. But until next time, you take care of yourself, stay safe, and as always, happy days.